No! No, Carly. So it pretty much solidifies the winner. If you win this, you pretty much win the game. Hi, my name is Lacey, and welcome to my recap of episode 10, the finale of Claim to Fame, hosted by Kevin and Franklin Jonas. Brother Joe's in hot water right now. Topical. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know my next recap is live. I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of the year, and I really appreciate your support. Thank you. So it is the finale, and we have three very, very worthy contenders left. We have Monet, Gabe, and Chris. For Gabe, everybody was thinking NFL, but he was lying the entire time. So now they're like, oh, he's into TV and film. Okay. And Monet, they thought it was Steve Harvey because of the fedora and the family clues. And then Chris, they thought was Elton John. They thought he was Elvis. They thought he was Billy Idol. None of this was correct. Now that we have the final three, all of the eliminated contestants are back. All the way from Travis to even Tom Hanks's niece, Carly. Ooh, They also have been sequestered the entire time, so they have not been able to Google anything or search anything, which I was concerned about. So that was answered. Carson wants to help Chris, so they have a little conference. Gabe and Monet are really trying to sniff Chris out, but they've been stumped. Chris talks to Jane, and Jane says that she knows who he is related to, but she does not plan on telling anybody. Gabe tries to confirm with Jane that Chris is related to Donny Osmond, but she is zip-lipped, and she kind of throws in Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons to Gabe to maybe try and get him off the scent of Donny Osmond, but I don't know if Gabe's buying it. Now that Carson and Chris have ruled out the NFL, they think maybe Terry Crews for Gabe. JR and Shane, they both know who Monet is related to. JR tells Monet that he knows who she's related to because he says that forehead gives it away. There's one last game, and this is a team game, so there's tons of haystacks around. There are 13 items hidden in the haystacks, each representing one of the eliminated contestants. They have to, the finalists have to dig through the haystacks, find the items, and put them in the order of how they were eliminated, and then put themselves as the last one. But this is a team challenge, and so they get to pick from the eliminated people who gets to help them. So the teams are as follows. So the teams are Gabe, Cole, Travis, and Hugo are on a team. Chris, Carson, Olivia, and Jane are on a team. And Monet, JR, Carly, and Shane are on a team. It seems really hard because there's like hay dust flying all over the place, and Chris's team is like actively hiding clues they already found, and it's kind of a mess. And it looks way harder than it's way harder than it appeared at first. Monet's huffing and puffing, running around trying to dig through all this crap, they're getting all over the place. Ugh. The game is timed, however, and whoever gets it first, the winner of the challenge, so Monet, Gabe, or Chris's team, that person gets to decide the last two guess-offs. So it pretty much solidifies the winner. If you win this, you pretty much win the game. So people run around finding clues left and right. So the clues, the items as they were, in order. Oh, what was funny is that in the midst of the game, Carly gives Monet a rock. Like a little rock. And it's like, no, that's just a rock. It's not a clue. So the order of the clues are Wilson, the volleyball from Castaway for Tom Hanks and Carly, the telescope for Travis, the bra for Jane for Dolly Parton, the donkey for Eddie Murphy and Shane, the key, it's a golden key for Cole and Alicia Keys, a gavel, I think, and a mask for Jenny McCarthy and Olivia because she's a judge on The Masked Singer, the presidential seal for Hugo, a pink cowboy hat for Lil Nas X and JR, racing car flags for Carson and Dale Earnhardt, a lunchbox for Donny Osmond that has Donny Osmond and Marie back to back, so that represents Chris. For Monet, there's a gold pair of glasses and a Caesar's crown for JB Smoove. And lastly, there is a turban hat on a mannequin head for Gabe's relative, Nick Cannon. So that is the display that everybody had to find. Hello. And the winning team is Gabe. So now Gabe gets to decide the first guess off, who gets to guess and who is the guessee, and he gets to choose the final guess off, who is the guesser and who is the guessee. He pretty much solidified that win by nailing this game. Chris is having a conference of minds with like Carly and I think Carson, and Carly somehow changes their idea of JB Smoove onto Jay Pharoah. And it's like, no! Carly, not to be trusted. She was out first, don't trust her. So Jane knew that the glasses represented JB Smoove, so now Chris and Carson and Jane kind of think JB Smoove, but then Carly's throwing in the wrench of Jay Pharoah because of SNL, and it's like, no, you were the only one. And now they are thinking Terry Crews for Gabe. They're so wrong. Before the final guess-off, the final elimination, Monet is talking to Gabe, and she's like, Gabe, you have to let me guess Chris. I know it's Donny Osmond. I know that lunchbox. I'm ready to guess him. Put me in, coach. Let me do it. And so now Gabe has to decide whether to let Monet have that chance, and then he has to go up against her in the final, or he maybe switches it up and does something different. I love Monet's dress in the elimination night, by the way. It is sparkly, it is silver and sparkly and beautiful. Honestly, I think Chris is out either way, because if he guesses, he's going to guess wrong because he's on Terry Crews or Jay Pharoah for some reason, and he's like so close to getting it right, but so far. So if he guesses, he's likely going to get it wrong. And then if Monet is the guesser, he's out because she knows it's Donny Osmond now. So Gabe gets to choose the first elimination or guess off. He chooses Monet to guess Chris. And so fourth time is a charm for Chris. Monet guesses Donny Osmond, and it is correct. They finally got Chris out. Chris gets the video from his dad, and then he breaks down crying a little bit because he's very moved and very inspired by his father, and he wants to make his dad proud as well as the whole family proud. And there's a lot of that family. And one cute thing that Chris says is that he's an old man, but he still looks good. And it's like plastic surgery. So Gabe now gets to pick the final guess off, and this determines the winner. So he decides to guess Monet's relative because he knows that Monet knows his, because she flat out told him, I know who yours is. So it's like either he takes a shot or he's out. So he has to guess Monet's person. He guesses JB Smoove because in flashback we find out that JR and Shane kind of told Gabe, or kind of hinted at the direction of Monet's person, and he put two and two together and he figured it out. So he guesses JB Smoove for Monet. He is correct, and that means Gabe is the winner of season 2 of Claim to Fame. And they show videos of JB Smoove talking about his daughter Monet, but her actual name is, oh gosh, her actual name is Jerica Monet Smoove. Jerica Monet, I believe is her name. So she is JB Smoove's daughter. He talks about how wonderful she is, and it's lovely. And then Gabe gets his video from Nick Cannon, And it is pretty funny that Nick Cannon asks Gabe to borrow money at the end of his video. And Gabe is Nick's younger brother. So that is it for Claim to Fame. Gabe played a magnificent game and he walked away with $100,000, $25,000, I don't know, some money that I don't comprehend because I have none. And so he played a great game. He made everybody think he was NFL for the longest time. And it wasn't until his clue came out with the babies that it was like pretty much solidified. But he did an amazing job. I think Chris would have been out if they knew who Donny Osmond was earlier on in the game, because he would have been out if they knew who Donny Osmond was earlier. Anyway, what did you all think of season 2 of Claim to Fame? Are you looking forward to season 3? Do you think the right person won? Were there any that you were completely stumped about? Were there any that you knew right away? I want to hear your thoughts. Leave them down below. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.